All right, everybody. We're joined by Howard Eisley, one of our assistant coaches and who had the scout for Purdue Fort Wayne. Coach, the first question for you is going to be from Chris Ballas from the Wolverines.
Hey, Coach, what we saw from Devontae the other night, is that what you've been seeing from him in practice, and what's he need to do to continue that? How much of that is confidence?
He's been working extremely hard in practice. He's been playing with a lot more confidence lately. We all know that he was capable of playing the way he has played in the last game. We just need him to continue to play that way and be aggressive on both ends of the floor. The one thing that we were really happy with was how he pushed the pace of the game, and really, I think that got himself going on both ends of the floor.
He didn't seem to hesitate to when they went under ball screens. Is that something you need him to do, is take that shot when it's there?
Yeah, I think that's a good shot for him. Obviously, we would like for it to happen in the flow of the game instead of coming out, pressing for the shot early. But I think we've spent a lot of time working on, what to do when teams do try to get under our ball screens.
Next up will be Andrew Kahn from M Live.
Hey, Coach, first of all, just kind of a follow-up on that last one. I mean, I imagine, you don't want him shooting, 10 threes a game, but like if a team goes under like that and is kind of daring him to shoot, is it sort of just as the message, shoot it, make it, and then they'll have to adjust defensively?
Well, we know if he is able to make some shots, it will open up the rest of our game. So they will hopefully have to change their coverage. Thing is, we don't want him coming out pressing or feeling like he has to make every shot, or he has to make it when they go under. We have other things that we can do to hurt teams as they start going under our ball screen. So when it's there and it's in the flow of the game, we do encourage him to shoot that shot.
Gotcha. Thanks. And then with Kobe, how often do you work with him? I mean, he could be considered a point guard, but I also know he kind of plays on the wing too. Does he fall under your purview, I guess, at practice? Or
well, he's been working a lot with everybody actually. So he works with the point guards, and he split time with the wings, and he's even jumped in working with some of the bigs or post moves. So he's a very talented kid. We're going to continue to work with him and help him get better. He's a big part of what we're going to do in the future, and we see growth in him every practice.
Thanks.
Next up is Brian Bush from our radio.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. With Zeb, talk about his kind of growth and improvement this year, and just how difficult was it for him with the illnesses to kind of get into game shape and be able to do some of the things he did on Saturday?
Well, first, with Zeb, you have to start as how giving he has been to the program of himself and to everyone. It was a tough, difficult time for him when, he was out. You couldn't be around the guy. So it set him back a little bit, but he's been working hard to get back up to speed, especially with this condition. We all know how talented Zeb is, and he just has to keep moving forward and keep at the pace that he's going.
Next up, we'll move over to Michael Cohen from the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Howard, appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this. Early in the season, a lot of the players have talked about, with so many new faces, there was always going to be an adjustment period of learning how to play with each other and the strengths and weaknesses of each guy, what they like, what they don't like. From a coaching perspective, what has it been like to try and find the right lineup combinations with so many new faces? And how would you say that's come along as we get closer to the real start of Big Ten play, if you will?
Well, it was definitely an adjustment, with so many new faces, as some of the guys might have mentioned, and trying to find the best playing groups who complements one another. So we still are working through that. I think, one of the strengths of our team is that we have guys that can really step up on any given night. So it's something that we're going to continue to work on throughout the year. And, with us, it's always next guy mentality. So maybe a guy's not going well tonight, then it's someone else's opportunity to step up and play well. But we're very connected as a team, and we all root for one another. So, we just got to continue to try to be pulling in the right direction.
To follow up on that, some of the guys, like you said, might step up on any given night, which means that, maybe one night a guy gets a lot of minutes and the next game, maybe it's not quite as many, and vice versa for different players. For the guys whose minutes do fluctuate a little bit, what are the types of things that you say to them so that they remain engaged and they know that just because maybe tonight they didn't get the minutes, tomorrow they could be counted on and they might help you win a game?
Well, our message has been very consistent in regards to that. Just stay ready because you never know. So we've been preaching that from day one. Coach has done a very good job of delivering that message to our players. And I don't think our guys look at it as a me against the next person. Is how can we get better? And how can we do the things we need to beat the team that we're playing that night? So we come to practice every day, and it's iron sharpen irons to get us ready to battle whoever we're going to be playing, our opponent may be.
Thank you.
We have a follow-up with Chris Ballas from the Wolverine.
Coach, how do you fix shooters who maybe don't have the confidence? For example, Frankie from the free throw line, clearly practice is one thing, but are there other things you can do to get those guys out of a funk?
Well, shooters shoot, and that's one thing that we've been very consistent on. Is we do a lot of shooting, before practice, during practice, and our guys, again, a lot has to do with confidence, and it's a field thing. We've thrown a lot at them up until this point, and getting comfortable on the floor and understanding, where their shots may come from. That was going to take a little time, but I think we're starting to get to a situation they're feeling comfortable and have an understanding of where they may get shots. So I give our guys a lot of credit. This is a group that really put the time in and they really work hard on their own. This night they're just not showing up for practice, so they're very diligent in their games, and I think you will see a lot of improvement as we continue to move forward.
We'll go back to Andrew Kahn from MLive.
You were just kind of talking about the minutes fluctuation. I mean, Zeb and Kobe are kind of big examples of that. Double-digit minutes, then maybe a DNP, and then back into the rotation, and they play well when they're out there. I guess those two guys in particular, with their length and some of their shooting, what are the things that they can bring to the team and offer on both ends of the court?
Well, I think you just said it. Their ability to be a tough guard for any team on the perimeter, and they can play multiple positions, and we're not afraid to put out a 3-guard lineup. So depending on who we're playing against and that opponent may be that night, you can see a lot of different lineups. Like, we feel our guys, especially Kobe and Zeb, can play together in some situations. So again, we're all pulling in the same direction, whatever's going to be needed on that given night.
Thanks.
Coach, we'll go back to Michael from the Free Press.
Hey, Howard. Juwan had talked about how he was pleased with the way the turnovers have been cut down in the last couple of games, and still an area where he thinks they can improve, but the progress is definitely there. I was curious on the inverse of that. How have you guys felt defensively about the number of turnovers that you've created? Is it where you like? Are you getting enough deflections? How do you feel on that end?
As coaches, it's never enough, right? But deflections is something that we feel that because of our length and our size, that we should be able to get our hands on a lot of balls defensively, and that's something that we always encourage. And when you start thinking of steals and turnovers, we're all for that, but not at the stake of getting out of position and gambling. So it's always a happy medium, trying to be disruptive, but not to the point where you're getting out of position doing your defensive assignments.
Thank you.
Coach, we're going to head over to James Hawkins with the Detroit News.
Hey, I would appreciate your time. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but you mentioned that you guys are willing to go to a 3-guard lineup at times. I guess just
Yes.
what you like about that look, and I guess just the different dimension that kind of brings.
Well, especially with the two guys we talked about, their ability to make shots and really be athletic and create defensive matchups is more of the thing that we be looking at. Guys that's athletic, you put them on the floor, can cause havoc on the defense.
And then just going back to the young guys, Kobe and Zeb, I guess just where have you seen the most growth for them this season in their game?
It's been hard, with Kobe, for example. He played limited basketball last year. And we've thrown a lot at him. We asked him to, try to understand in multiple positions, maybe at sometimes playing 1 through 3. So that's a lot that we've thrown at him. So, we have to continue to work with him and pour into to help him continue to grow. And he's been absolutely fantastic and retaining the information and wanting the information. He's a workaholic. He stays in the gym, so he's going to be fine. I think his best basketball is still ahead of him. And again, Zeb, he's working himself back into shape. He had 2 stints where it kept him out, and not only was he out, but he was away from the team as well. So, those things are tough to recover from. But Zeb is going to be a part of what we do as well.
Coach, we'll go back to Andrew with M Live.
I know a lot is asked of the point guards, I guess, with Frankie being, a young freshman. What are the things, in particular, you're helping him with, in film study or on the court or wherever?
With Frankie and, a lot of our freshmen, they come in and they want to make an impact on the game right away. So one of the things that we talk about with them is making singles and not always looking to make the home run play or the home run pass. So that's something that, we have to, talk with all of them about, but mainly Frankie, because we want his turnovers to, get those down a little bit, but we don't want to take away his aggressiveness because he is very good at attacking the basket and getting to the rim and creating for others. So again, trying to find a happy medium for him as well.
Thanks.
We'll head back to Michael from the Free Press.
Yeah, I just had a question about Eli. The number of shot attempts he's gotten the last 4 or 5 games has been pretty consistent, but the shooting percentages are down quite a bit from the first 4 or 5 games of the year. And I was wondering if you guys have been pleased with the quality of looks that he's getting, or if it's just nights where it doesn't go in.
I think it's just nights where the ball doesn't go in. I think now teams are really starting to key on him. He's a part of the other team's scouting report more than probably what they have been in the past. We're very happy with the looks he's getting. And again, we expect him to make shots, especially open shots. And we're not really worried about Eli in that aspect. We know he's going to give to the team. And he's been pretty good his whole career about taking the right shots when given to him.